What if I told you the absolute most reliable sedan on the market right now? A car that practically guarantees 200,000 miles of drama-free driving, achieved its near-perfect score by, well, flat out refusing to use groundbreaking tech.
Yeah, it's pretty counterintuitive when you first look at the data.
Right. Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are tearing into the latest Consumer Reports reliability data for the 2025 and 2026 sedan market.
And it is a fascinating list this year.
It really is. We have the data, we have the mechanical schematics, and we are on a mission today to find the vehicles that just refuse to die.
Which means we really need to define what we mean by reliability here. I mean, we are moving way past the aesthetic reviews.
No, 0 to 60 times today.
Exactly. We're dissecting the exact mechanical and structural engineering choices that allow a chassis or a powertrain to actually survive 250,000 miles.
Because when you look at the top tier of these Consumer Reports scores, you quickly realize that longevity isn't luck.
No, it is a very deliberate engineering philosophy.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because nobody wants a car that spends more time in the mechanic shop than your driveway.
Absolutely not.
So let's look at the data. And what strikes me immediately is that there isn't just one right way to build a bulletproof car.
Right. There's a huge divergence in how automakers are achieving these marks.
Yeah, we can really group these ultra-reliable cars by their underlying philosophies. So let's start out with numbers 10 and 9 on the countdown. Both scored a 74 out of 100, but they got there in completely opposite ways.
The clash of philosophies.
Exactly. Number 10 is the 2025 Mazda 3. And this car is criminally underrated. It starts under $20,000. It has total luxury interior vibes and an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus.
And its reliability score is fantastic. But the why is what's interesting.
Tell me the why.
Well, it sticks to a standard naturally aspirated 2.5-liter engine, no turbo, and it uses a traditional geared automatic transmission.
So no CVT either.
Exactly, no CVT. By intentionally omitting the turbocharger, Mazda ensures the block operates well within its thermal limits.
Because turbos run insanely hot.
They do. They force the engine to process a significantly higher volume of air and fuel, which, dramatically increases cylinder pressures and localized heat.
And over 100,000 miles, that heat just cooks the gaskets and the oil.
Precisely. Mazda just avoids that entirely, and they still manage to engineer 30 miles per gallon combined out of that standard setup.
Which is incredibly solid.
Yeah.
But then we look at number 9 on the list, which is the 2026 Toyota Camry. And this is a massive contrast.
Oh, complete opposite approach.
Right, because the new Camry is now entirely hybrid.
Yeah, and it's worth noting that Consumer Reports is actually holding the score back slightly right now, just due to it being a massive ground-up redesign.
They always penalize the first year of a redesign.
They do. However, this new 5th-generation hybrid system is incredible. It delivers 48 miles per gallon combined.
Wow.
Yeah, they're utilizing lighter electric motors and vastly better battery heat management, so you get a quicker, smoother ride than the old gas models.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. We have Mazda clinging to old school gears and non-turbos, like a trusty cast iron skillet.
Great analogy.
And while they're doing that, Toyota is going full spaceship with an all-hybrid lineup. I mean, are we seeing a total split in how automakers define what reliable actually means?
What's fascinating here is that both are correct. Reliability can come from perfecting old technology, like Mazda is doing, or it can come from masterful thermal management of brand new technology, which is Toyota's strategy.
It's all about execution.
Exactly.
Which perfectly sets up our next two cars, numbers 8 and 7. Because building on that idea of perfecting technology over time, this is where a single luxury brand proves that patience and really restraint are the ultimate reliability hacks.
The Lexus strategy.
Yes. Number 8 is the 2025 Lexus ES Hybrid. It pulls a very solid 77 out of 100.
And that score is entirely based on the outgoing 2019 to 2025 generation platform?
So it's 6 years of proven reliability.
Exactly. They use a nickel metal hydride battery that routinely lasts 15 plus years. It gets 42 mpg combined.
And the cabin is as quiet as a Mercedes S-Class, but for, what, half the maintenance cost?
Easily half.
Which means, pro tip for you listening.
Yeah.
If you want one of these, go negotiate a deal right now before the unproven 2026 redesigns hit the lots.
That is genuinely great advice.
Right. But then we hit number 7, the 2026 Lexus IS. scoring an 84 out of 100.
Hmm.
And Lexus actually stripped the lineup down to just the IS350F Sport.
Which is brilliant. They stick to exactly what works, a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 and a traditional automatic.
No hybrids allowed.
Right. By completely skipping hybrid complexity in this model, it guarantees zero electrical gremlins. You get tight panel gaps and legendary build quality.
Even if it only gets 22 miles per gallon combined.
Yeah, you take a hit on fuel economy, but it will never leave you stranded.
But so what does this all mean? Lexus is basically telling us if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like keeping your old reliable laptop from 2019 because you know it won't crash during a presentation.
Right, yeah.
But doesn't this strategy leave them behind the curve? Aren't buyers just acting as a museum for old tech?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, consumers actually crave predictability. A slightly older tech suite that functions flawlessly is almost always preferred over a cutting-edge system that strands you on the highway.
That makes a lot of sense. Predictability is a luxury in itself.
Exactly.
Okay, so while Lexus succeeds by avoiding changes, the next two vehicles on our countdown numbers 6 and 5, they climb the ranks by facing their biggest flaws head-on.
The redemption arcs.
The ultimate redemption arcs.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is the 2025 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. And I'm not going to lie, I was genuinely surprised to see a German luxury car on a reliability list.
It is incredibly rare.
It boasts an 88 out of 100.
Yeah, and they earned it the hard way. Mercedes quietly sorted out the messy software bugs and the 48-volt mild hybrid issues that really plagued the 2022 and 2023 models.
Those early models were constantly throwing codes.
They were a nightmare. But now, the MBUX voice assistant actually works consistently. The rear-wheel drive sedan gets 29 miles per gallon, and the software handshakes are finally stable.
Just a quick warning for you, though, if you're looking at the C-Class, don't check too many option boxes or that price fast approaches $68,000.
Oh, it skyrockets.
It really does. But then we get to number 5, the 2025 Nissan Altima, scoring an 89 out of 100. And this is the Altima's grand finale before Nissan pulls the plug.
Which is bittersweet because the mechanical fix here is massive. Nissan finally cured their notorious CVT issues.
The push-belt CVTs that just self-destructed for a decade.
Those exact ones. They swapped the whole architecture to a chain-driven CVT with vastly better cooling.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets 31 mpg combined, up to 40 on the highway, and it still features those NASA-inspired zero-gravity seats.
Okay, wait. Nissan finally fixes their biggest problem, the CVT, right before canceling the car entirely.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
That is like perfecting your grandma's secret recipe on the exact day you decide to close the family restaurant. Why do that?
This raises an important question about how manufacturing works at scale. The engineering team finished the chain-driven CVT development cycle long before corporate decided to pivot to crossovers.
Oh, I see.
So this is actually a fantastic opportunity. You get the absolute pinnacle of a car's development cycle without paying a premium for a new generation. All the R&D is done, the bugs are gone, and you just get a perfectly dialed-in machine.
Okay, I love that. The final draft advantage.
Exactly.
So we're moving from manufacturers fixing past mistakes to engineers who proactively design brilliant solutions for everyday daily drivers.
Yeah.
Numbers 4 and 3. Let's talk about engineering away the squeaks in the soot.
These are the unsung heroes.
Truly. Number 4 is the 2025 Toyota Corolla. It scored an 89 out of 100. At $22,500, this daily driver is an absolute no-brainer.
And it hits 36 mpg combined.
Right. But the engine tech is what fascinated me here.
Oh, it's brilliant. It uses both port and direct injection.
Which is wild for an economy car. Most cars just use direct injection now, right?
Yeah. Yes, to maximize power and efficiency. But the flaw with direct injection is that the fuel goes straight into the cylinder.
Right.
So it never washes over the back of the intake valves. Over time, oily crankcase vapors bake onto those hot intake valves and create a thick carbon buildup.
The dreaded carbon black. It chokes the engine.
Exactly. It causes misfires, rough idling. But Toyota's clever dual injection system engineers that problem completely away.
How does it balance the two?
Under lower loads, it uses the port injectors, so the gasoline literally washes the valves clean with every cycle. When you need power, it switches to direct injection. It means you can hit 200,000 miles with just regular oil changes.
It is such an elegant, proactive solution.
It really is.
Okay, number 3 is the 2025 Subaru Impreza, scoring a staggering 92 out of 100. Now, I have to admit, it's technically a hatchback since they dropped the sedan model, but we are keeping it on the list.
It earns its spot.
For under $22,000 with standard all-wheel drive and 29 mpg. Absolutely. But the big upgrade wasn't the engine.
No, it was structural. Subaru engineers fundamentally improved the chassis by using 300% more structural adhesive.
I love this. It's not just slap a better engine in it. But wait, when you say structural adhesive,
It's high-tech glue, essentially.
right, but using 300% more structural adhesive is like adding extra mortar to a brick wall, right? Or like if you build a wooden box.
A wooden box is a perfect analogy.
Like if you just nail a wooden box together, it holds its shape.
Yeah.
But if you sit on it, it twists and groans.
And eventually the nails bore out the wood.
Exactly. But if you coat all those joints in wood glue, plus the screws, the box becomes a single solid monolith. It just holds the whole house together tighter. But do buyers actually notice these invisible upgrades?
Oh, absolutely they do, because that zero drama longevity is exactly what owners feel. When a car remains totally silent with no interior panel rubbing, no squeaks, no rattles after 100,000 miles.
It still feels like a vault.
Exactly. Plus, they fixed the phantom braking issues with the new EyeSight 4.0 safety system, so the whole driving experience is just buttery smooth.
Man, that attention to detail really pays off. Which brings us to the top of the mountain. Numbers 2 and 1. The near-perfect masterclasses.
These last two synthesize everything we've talked about today.
Smart hybrid tech, solid build quality, proven mechanics.
Near perfection.
Number 2 is the 2025 Honda Accord, earning a massive 96 out of 100. It starts at $26,200, gets 32 mpg, and has massive rear legroom. I mean, it feels like a near luxury car inside.
It really punches above its weight class, and mechanically, Honda did something brilliant here. They repositioned the hybrid electric motors.
They move them side by side, right?
Yes. Previously, inline motors had heat soak issues. By physically moving the generation motor and the traction motor side by side, they drastically improved the cooling surface area.
So the motors run cooler.
Much cooler.
Yeah.
And a cooler electric motor is one that lasts significantly longer. It improves the durability of the internal insulation massively.
And didn't they also change the brake feel? Because I've driven older hybrids where the regenerative braking feels so grabby and unnatural.
They did. That side-by-side packaging allowed for a larger propulsion motor, which completely masks the handoff between the regen brakes and the physical friction brakes. Owners absolutely love how smooth it is compared to competitor hybrids.
It's just perfectly dialed in. But a 96 still isn't a 99.
No, it is not.
We have to talk about number 1. Taking the crown with a near-perfect 99 out of 100 is the 2025 Toyota Crown.
Very fitting name for the winner.
Right. It starts under $35,000.
Oh,
And, 99 out of 100. It is mathematically the most reliable sedan on the market.
why is this thing practically flawless?
Because the hybrid system uses a proven planetary gear set.
Okay, break that down for us.
So unlike a traditional automatic with clutches that wear out or push-belt CVT that relies on friction, the Crown uses the exact same tech from the bulletproof ROS V4 and Highlander hybrids.
Just a central sun gear, planet gears, and a ring gear, all prominently meshed together. Exactly. There's no shifting, there's no belts to slip. It just varies the electrical resistance on the generator motor to infinitely adjust the power ratio.
That is just mathematically elegant.
It practically eliminates mechanical friction wear. That's how it yields 42 mpg combined and standard all-wheel drive without the mechanical liabilities. A 99 score means you buy it and you just stop stressing entirely.
And it has that Lexus quiet cabin, too. But you know what my absolute favorite detail about the Crown is?
What's that?
It's a massive win for usability. It has actual physical climate control buttons instead of annoying touchscreens.
Oh, that is huge.
Here's where it all comes together for me. The most reliable sedan on the market gets a near-perfect score, and one of its defining features is physical buttons. It's almost a rebellion against the touchscreen everything trend.
What's fascinating here is that the Crown represents the perfect marriage of highly advanced, hyper-efficient modern hybrid gear sets with intuitive, traditional user interfaces.
They realize that cognitive load matters just as much as thermal load.
Exactly. You shouldn't have to dig through 3 submenus just to turn on your defroster.
Preach. It's so distracting.
By keeping the physical buttons, they are engineering for human reliability, not just mechanical reliability.
I love that. Human reliability. So let's zoom out and summarize this deep dive. Because I think we've established that achieving 200,000 plus miles isn't magic.
No, it's very specific engineering choices.
Right. It comes down to things like avoiding complex turbos when possible, like Mazda and Lexus. Utilizing dual injection to stop carbon buildup, like the Corolla.
Side-by-side motor cooling in the Accord.
Yes. And sometimes just sticking to a proven planetary gear set, like the Crown.
Which really leaves us with a final thought to mull over.
Hit me with it.
Well, with automakers constantly pushing for massive, completely untested redesigns every few years, we really have to ask ourselves, are we as consumers actually paying a premium just to be beta testers?
Oh, wow.
Right. Should we be seeking out cars at the end of their generation rather than the beginning?
Are we paying 60 or 70 grand to do the manufacturer's quality control testing for them? That is a wildly provocative thought, but honestly, looking at these scores, it makes total sense. The final draft cars are the ones that never break.
Exactly. Let the early adopters deal with the software bugs and the thermal issues. Buy the platform when it's perfected.
I think that's the smartest advice anyone could take away from this, and I want to turn this over to you listening right now. Did Consumer Reports get it right? Or is there a completely bulletproof car out there that they totally missed? Drop your thoughts and experiences down in the comments. I genuinely would love to hear from you.
Do you have a tank that just won't quit? Let us know.
Exactly. And hey, if you enjoy this deep dive, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the Deep Dive channel for honest, no-nonsense car reviews so you don't miss our next upload.
Demand better engineering.
Always. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you in the next one.